So there's a few things I still need to explain. What is an object and what is a function? So like I was saying, here we're in a code chunk, and inside a code chunk we're running code, and the reason we're running code is because we're looking for some sort of a result. So that means there must be some sort of an action. We're performing some sort of an action and we want to perform it on something. So if you have it's just a normal coding, is just we call it a coding language because it works like language, like normal language. Is going to be an action, and the action is going to be performed on something. So kicking the ball, when you kick, kicking is the action, the ball is the object on which the action is being performed. So that's how this coding works. We're going to have an action, and in our case, in this case, we call that action a function. And we're going to have an object, like kicking the ball, where the ball is the object. We're going to have an object inside our analysis as well, on which, or many objects, not just one, on which we're going to perform the action or the function. So this is a good example of a function and an object. So the function is the first part, and I know it's a function because it's followed by an open round bracket and a closed round bracket. So it can't just be any bracket. If it's a square bracket, that's something else. It's not the same as a round bracket in R. If it's curly brackets, that's something else also. It's also not the same as a round bracket. So if you're writing a function, you're going to use round brackets. So the dim, followed by an open, by the brackets, that's the function part. And then inside the brackets, the thing on which we're going to perform the function, whatever dim does, this thing is the object. Because obviously, if I want to perform a function in R, I have to tell R, what is it? If I can't just say kick it. Like R is going to ask me, what do you want me to kick? Do you want me to kick the ball? Do you want to kick the dog? So you have to tell R on which object you want to perform the function. So that's what's happening here. So demo data didn't just appear miraculously. It was this file. So if you remember, you downloaded a file called demo data, and that file we read in. So this itself is a function that says read CSV. It seems very obvious what it does. It reads a CSV file. So this is the function. We're telling R, please can you read a CSV file for me? Then R says which CSV file. Then we give it the name of the file we want it to read. That's the file you downloaded and that's in your folder. And then we told R, and please call it demo data. So this part we provided. We're telling R, I want you to read the file, but don't only read it, I want you to save it as an object. So that's what this whole line of code is doing. It's saying, please read this file, but don't just read it, save it as an object in my working directory. So that's where working directory comes in again. If we didn't do that, if we just said read CSV, that's not going to do. R might read it, but then we still can't use it. We wouldn't be able to use that file, that demodata.csv. We are only able to use it if we create an object inside the working directory, and then we can use it. So that's what's happening here. We're saying we want to call it demo data, and so that we can use it again. And that's what this little arrow here is about. This little arrow is also a function. It's not just not just a symbol, it's a function in R, and basically that's what it does. It points to this thing. So it's saying, do this function on this file, and it points to this thing because it's saving whatever it did here, whatever the result is of what it did here. In this case, it just means it's reading this file. Save that as an object. And now that's why it's there again, so that now if I run that name again, then R knows all about it because I created an object. That file is now inside the room in which we're working, and it can access it and it can show me what it looks like. Okay, we'll go through all of that again. For now, I just want to orientate you. If I say object, that's kind of the idea. It's things we save so that we can have it in the room to work with it. And then functions are the actions that we perform on those objects.